Hi, I'm John McIntire. Welcome to City Talk here on City Channel Pittsburgh. Meet Chris Dotson. He works for the city clerk's office as we introduce folks to the employees of the city of Pittsburgh. Chris,
Yes.
welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
City clerk's office, how long you been here?
I started in October of 1999, so it'll be about 19 years maybe in October.
How'd you get the gig? Do you remember?
Yes, actually, I used to work in the county, and my mom was real political in our neighborhood growing up.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I used to always go with functions and help her do certain things. So when I started working with the county, I was referred by a council person at the time to, just come over and apply. And I came over and I applied, and the city clerk there, her name was Linda Johnson-Wassler. And she interviewed me along with a gentleman, he was the deputy clerk named John Mascio at the time. And they interviewed me, and that was October 1999, and I've been here ever since.
Well, you must be pretty good at what you do, or you wouldn't have lasted 19 years.
Yeah, it's definitely something you have to, get used to, all the different personalities and the different people that we work for and work with.
Is that the main challenge?
Yeah,
all kinds of different personalities?
All kinds of different personalities, because it's not just one person that, that the offices deal with. We deal with all 9, plus their staff.
All 9 city councilmen?
Yes, all 9 city councilmen,
oh
plus
my God,
all their staff.
That sounds awful.
Well, no, it ain't bad. It's not bad. It's just if you know how to talk to people and know how to talk to people and able to get along with certain situations to where you don't let it bother you or let it, wear on you, then it's fine.
That's really the essence of city government, isn't it? Finding a way to work with all kinds of different people.
Yes, because when I first started, people was like, oh, you don't want to go there. They're mean. The council people, they scream at you. But that's never been the problem. I've never had.
Oh, you've never been screamed at by a council person?
No, I've never been screamed at by a council person. They're usually pretty respectful to us because we work hand in hand with them. So a lot of the stuff that they do, that they need, we provide for them.
So I haven't even asked you the obvious question. What do they do at the city clerk's office?
Well, pretty much what we do, we're like the behind the scenes for council.
And you keep records?
Yes, we keep records, legislation, ordinances, resolutions. We also do a lot of the setups for the meetings and any special like events that usually happen up here. We usually take care of them, like swearing-ins. We're usually in charge of getting it together and catering the food, getting the reception areas together for everybody, and we do a lot of different things. Like I do a lot of different things, and everybody has their role, and we all work together.
You create the agendas that the city council uses as a reference to
Wednesdays,
decide what to do in what order.
It's standing committee meeting agenda, and we make sure that all the bills that's supposed to be talked about on the agenda are there in the right order. So when they get up to the table, everything's set out for them so they can, run the meeting effectively. And you usually know if you made a mistake on the agenda. There's usually, it's not really like, but.
What kind of a mistake might you make, or hypothetical?
Like, for instance, like a bill might be left off the agenda by mistake, or we might have got a bill at late, where we have to go in and recreate another agenda and come out in the middle of the meeting and pass it out. So sometimes little things happen to where at last minute, or proclamations is a good one, where they give proclamations to people in the neighborhoods. Sometimes we might get one like 5 to 10 when the meeting's at 10. We have to rush and try to hurry up and get it done and get it out here. Like our other people, like I was telling you, my other person works in Louise, he does Tuesday. So if they have a problem where stuff is late, I'll try to run out, help them get stuff out, and make sure all the agendas are properly, they're fixed properly to where everything is on.
Do they send you out a lot to deal with everybody because you're a good people person?
Well, it depends. We all rotate. If I'm in the office, I'll usually go out and handle it. If I'm not in, we have another gentleman back there named Mike. He does it, or Louise helps out. It depends who else is in the office at the time. We usually rotate. It doesn't, we pick and choose. It doesn't matter.
So sometimes I think people, not just in city government, but in government in general, are not the hardest workers in the world. I'm meeting a lot of dedicated folks who work very hard. What's your take on all that?
Yeah, I heard that too coming over here, but we work all the time. I mean, we might not be out in the public view, but it's always something to do, and there's always work here to be done. Like, we're working now to get ready for tomorrow and Wednesday, and we always try to, we always try to stay ahead because those are our 2 most busy days. And to popular, besides popular belief that city workers don't work, we do. We work a lot, all the time. All I say is somebody come up and sit up in the office for a day or so, you'll see all the different things that you might not see that we do behind the scenes that keeps everything running to make sure that, you know, that there's no lapses in our work duties here.
Do you have any idea how far your records go back?
Oh, 1800s.
No kidding.
Yes, 1800s. Easy, like 1880, around there.
Are they all hermetically sealed in plastic bags or something, or can you just open a file drawer and they're
Yes, you can open the file drawer. We have them. It's in our vault.
Oh, okay.
In our
So they are protected.
Yes, they're protected. You know, they're temperature safe, and a lot of the legislation is like the older legislation. There was a fire here years ago, like in the early 1900s, and you can still smell like smoke.
Seriously?
On the legislation when you pull it out, because
No kidding.
we have to do research, and sometimes we have to go up there and grab old legislation, and you can still smell the smoke, and you have to watch because it gets in your fingers. So when I get the old legislation, I usually put on gloves because for one, I don't want to damage the legislation,
Right.
but two, it's still kind of smoky. That just shows you the authenticity of the legislation. It's all original legislation.
Is that spooky going back in time by smelling?
It's different. It's just like, wow, this stuff is still here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been here and it's not going anywhere. And we must make sure that we keep it there, because any piece of bill that we lose, to me, that's a part of history that we're losing. So we try to make sure we keep everything close. Not too many people can go in there and touch it. Usually just the clerk staff can go in there and get it. Even somebody from a council office, if they want something, they go through us. And we get it for them.
Right.
And then we get it and we put it back. Because we have experience working with the legislation, and people coming back and forth, they're not as delicate or don't take it as seriously as we do, because we have to deal and we have to handle the legislation. So we make sure we take care of it, make sure it's right in its right place in numerical order, so everything flows perfectly, because there's nothing worse than going up there and can't find the piece, or it's been moved, or somebody else was using
Right.
it and put it in the wrong order. So it can kind of mess up, take a little bit longer for research, but we usually find it.
19 years, the technology must have changed a lot over the years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, did you have typewriters when you first got here?
Yes, we still have a typewriter. We use
Kidding.
every week. We still use it. It's right there in the office in there. And when I first started, we had the old computer screens with the big monitors back then, and the internet was here still pretty young. And they used to have me. I used to cut out articles for city council, just anything on city business, and they had me cutting them out. And one day a councilman said, "What are you doing? Go on the internet and just print them out." And then once I started doing that, you know, I started going to the internet, printing out. Now we have like new computers, or they're faster, and we're up to Windows like 10 now. So technology has changed. Like when I started, we had beepers. They gave me a beeper to use. Now we don't, you know, everything is.
Did you get beeped a lot?
Cell phone. Yeah, when I went out and take care of deliveries, they beat me. I call back.
Okay.
They say, "Chris, you got to go this," or, you know, and I just laughed because I said, "Why, I had a beeper back there. I haven't seen a beeper in like 10, 15 years, but I started with beepers. Now everything is cell phones and emails and texts and all that stuff. So it did change.
You sound like you like your job.
Yeah, I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't.
Yeah, you know, I mean, when you come here and you work with people, you know, for years, and you get to know people and you work well together with people, it's not hard to come to work. You know, as you come here.
Imagine that. You might actually enjoy coming to work.
Yeah, you know,
Wow.
and, you know, there's rough spots here and there, but all in all, it's not, you know, it's a good place to work, you know, and the people I work with are good people, and we all get along, so it makes the job a lot easier, and it makes coming to work a lot easier. You know, I'm not, you know, coming in on Monday mornings. You know, it's more or less just once I get here, you know, just get to work, and usually you don't really have time to really think. You're busy moving, and you know, and it keeps the day going, and keeps the day going along pretty fast.
Chris Dotson, you're a really fun person to talk to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have a little personality, I guess. I never did this before, so this is
Yeah, me neither.
a little different. So.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
All right.
You've been watching City Talk on City Channel Pittsburgh. I'm John McIntire, and we'll see you next time.